So how are we spotting those moments where that's not really what you meant? I'm trying to spot those lies, those little stories that aren't adding up. What are the giveaways?
Well, so first of all, you got to separate your fear center, your amygdala, from your gut. Like your gut is really good at spotting liars, and your fear segment centers in your brain will take over and tell you they're lying and they're not. Or if you're offended, like as an assertive, the more direct and more concise somebody is, the more that correlates with honesty. Now I'm choosing my words carefully, and the word that I'm choosing carefully is correlate. And so the more direct someone is, the more concise they are, the more it correlates with honesty, especially if I'm an assertive. If I tell you the truth and you're not smart enough to figure it out, I'm going to give you a vibe like you're an idiot. Now you're going to be offended by that, and instead of realizing I'm telling you the truth, you're going, well, you're lying to me. It's a defensive reaction to an assertive. So sorting that out. Now, if somebody tells the truth, they tell the truth one way. So I'm going to get you talking. I'm going to try to develop, my small talk is really about me developing a gut instinct for you. How long did it take you to get here today? What'd you have for breakfast? A lie detector asks you as a good polygrapher, and there are a lot of bad ones, but a good polygrapher is going to ask you a series of control questions to get a feel for what you look like when you're telling the truth. What day is it? What city are you in? What time is it? What'd you have for breakfast? If you tell the truth, and not everybody tells the truth, some people lie all the time. If you tell the truth one way. Any deviation from that is a lie. There's so many tells to lying. It's impossible to keep up with them all. But I'm going to develop a feel for you on how you tell the truth. I've done a couple of podcast interviews in the past. I don't particularly like playing this game, but they did. Let's do 2 truths and a lie. And I'm like, all right, whatever. I find this because I'm gonna develop a feel for you in a longer period of time than the podcast. But in that case, I'm going to start peppering you with questions on each one of your stories. And if it's, no, it's 2 lies and a truth, not 2 truths and a lie, right? I'm going to tell you 2 lies, and you got to figure out of the third one, which one is the truth. There's going to be a correlation between the two. 2 of the stories are going to be similar, and your ability to come up with details, your similar ability to recall facts. And whichever one jumps out at me, very much like the polygraph, I'm looking for what jumps out at me that's different. So I'm going to develop a gut instinct for you, and then I'm gonna really kind of listen to my gut. One last thing is what and how questions, which I said before are exhausting. The more I tire you out, the less likely you are is to make up nonsense to me about what's going to happen. A couple of years ago, we got a project going. I'm doing a security project in another country. Subcontractor, the general contractor, is very threatened by my success and relationship with the client. Because I'm the sub, and they're the general. And the client likes us more than they like the general contractor. This whole graduation ceremony that I suspect that the general contractor is trying to keep me from. Because they don't want us celebrating with the client at the end of the training. And I don't know how to get there. And I want the general contractor to send a cab over. We're in the Middle East in another country where there ain't no street signs. And if you're not a local, you can't find your way around. And I say to him, all right, so how are we going to get there? He says, I'll send you a map. And then I thought and said, how are you going to get me the map? And he went dead silent. He never intended to get me the map. He had one lie worked out, but he didn't have the corresponding lies to go with it. He never intended to perform. And when I just asked him another how question, which drained the wattage out of his head, you can always tell the truth because you don't got to make it up. It takes no effort. If you're lying, you got to make it up, and it takes effort, and people get drained by that. So if I pound you with what and how questions, you're going to run out of gas ultimately, where I'm going to find out you're lying because you're just not going to have an answer.